How will you be able to earn from that?
Art does pay.
Okay.
If you're able to make it functional.
Okay.
Maybe something people can use, or if you're able to help people identify with your art.
Okay.
If someone is able to derive value from the kind of art you're giving them, or if they're able to feel that this art represents me, then that's how you're able to capitalize on that.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Sanaa na Mitindo with me, Isaac Barak. Remember, we'll be airing our show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. You can't afford to miss this and every other episode of Sanaa na Mitindo here on Wema TV. So today I have an amazing guest, and it was Steph. So she'll get to introduce herself and what she does. We are continuing our series of ceramics. Ceramics ni everything that deals with molding clay into different things, from plates to jewelry, but today we're focusing on jewelry. So you can't afford to miss this amazing and episode where we get to learn the many different things. So karibu sana Steph.
Thank you, Isaac.
So you can introduce yourself, your name and what you do.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie. I design and create handmade ceramic jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So generally that is what you do.
Yes.
Yes. So that is really amazing. So you can tell us more about yourself. Kwenye ulienda primer, kwenye ulienda high school, kama umeenda kampo, tuambie kwenye ulienda, and maybe some of the teachers who really stood out. Unajua primer wenye watu wanachapangwa na viboko. So you can tell us more about yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
I've been raised in a more Catholic setup.
Okay.
So when I was in primary, I went to Immaculate in Nyahururu. It was a nun school, so I was raised by nuns when I was a kid. When I went to high school, I went to Bishop Katimu in Nyeri. I remember there was one teacher who was very notable. She helped me develop my personality, and she let me explore different ways of learning based on what was comfortable with myself. She taught me math, and she made math my favorite subject.
You can mention her name.
Her name was Mrs. Njoroge.
Oh, Mrs. Njoroge.
Yes.
Big up.
Yeah, she's my favorite teacher to date. When I was in university, I went to Strathmore. I went to study business IT.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was on my way to become a software developer until my final year project, when I needed to study a bit of design to make my project look nice and make things pop. And then I switched my career now to become a web designer, and that's what I do until today.
So you are a website developer?
Yes.
Yes, amazing, amazing. So how did you enter? Ulimanuva aje ukaingia into ceramics from a laptop into clay and modeling? You can tell us about that.
Okay. So after the pandemic, I realized that I was spending so much time at home, sitting behind a screen, just working on my laptop on different projects, and I realized as much as that helps me create beautiful websites for clients, I needed a creative outlet that was hands-on, since I learn very well with my hands. And I decided, out of curiosity, to go and learn an online course on ceramics, because I stumbled upon a ceramics course by a Spanish artist called Julieta Alvarez.
Spanish?
Yes. Yeah. So after I took her course, I realized, so there's a possibility of creating jewelry out of ceramics and not just cups and plates. So after studying that course, I decided to go take a bit of clay, experiment with it, go get it fired by a ceramic artist in Nairobi, just to test out how everything works, so it'll get a feel of what you're stitching. And I realized that is something that I really liked. And I decided, you know what, this is something that I want to do. And I decided to invest full on. And that's what I do. And these are some of the pieces that I've made. Amazing,
amazing. So what's the process of making a piece like this? I believe this is the very first piece you made.
Yes.
It's really, really nice. Though it's the very first piece. So so what's the process of making a piece from scratch? Where do you get the clay? Alafu, how do you go about it? You can describe that process.
Okay. So my clay comes from Muranga.
Muranga.
Yeah. I had my mom help me out to find it.
Okay.
So once I get it, usually the clay comes in dry lumps.
Okay.
Because it's like when you create small batches of plasticine, they usually come in small boxes. So I had to make it in a way such that I could work with it,
Okay.
and mold it and cut it and everything. So I put the dry clay in a bucket of water, let it soak for a week. Every day I go inside to make it consistent and make sure all the parts of the clay have water. Then after a week, it becomes a paste. So it's kind of like toothpaste. So once that's okay, then I take out the mud, put it on a flat place like a table, and I lay it out. Then I leave it for about a week or 2 weeks to dry and become firm. Then once it's firm, I'm able to cut it into sections, put it in an airtight container like a bucket that's lined with plastic that I can close. And then I only take the clay that I need to create a specific batch.
Okay.
So that helps me to work with the clay in a way I don't have to repeat the process every single time.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I take that small section of clay, I lay it out on a table, I roll it out. It's like using a rolling pin, like a chapati.
Nice. Kupika chapo.
Yes. Then I use a die. You know the small things that we used to use in preschool, in art class, to cut out cookie shapes or plasticine shapes. Same thing. So I use that one to cut out small shapes, so that they're circles, triangles, or different ones. Then after I cut them out, I lay them somewhere where I can leave them to dry. The remaining cut out pieces, I roll them up again, so then I can roll it out into another chapati, and I cut it out again, just to make sure I don't waste anything in the end. Then once I have the pieces of the round dry clay, then I use a power drill to now create the holes where the hoops can go in.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes a bit of time and it needs a bit of muscle because you stay like this for about 2 or 3 hours.
Lazima ukuwa umekula ugali mzuri
asubuhi.
Okay.
Yes. So I drill the holes. In case some break, that's normal.
Okay.
So I don't really consider them broken.
Okay.
So the ones that break, I just put them back into the original clay batch so that I can use them another time. Then the ones that are good, then I put them into the firing machine first. So that now makes sure that they burn, it's able to fuse very well and makes it really hard. So that in case in the future you drop it, it doesn't break.
Okay.
Yeah. So it won't break as easily as a cup because it's small and it's also very uniform. Then when I check them out, at that point they're very hard, but the color has changed from black in the original clay to a very light brown. So it looks something like exactly like this. So this color.
Okay.
So I take them out and then I paint them with ceramic paint. So this is an example. So the kinds of
the same. The same tuna here, but this is a different color.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I have a range of colors that I use. It's not just these 3. It's a wide range.
Okay.
Yeah. So before I even paint them, I usually think about when I create the pieces, what kind of inspiration are they going to follow?
Okay.
Yeah. So I usually have a book that guides my inspiration.
Oh, nice, nice.
So this book it has a couple of photos for different kinds of items. Some of them are jewelry, some are cups, some are plates, some are bottles.
Okay.
But they form the kind of artistic guide that I'm looking for.
Amazing.
Yeah. I usually go for a very simple style since I feel that's what most people are going to be comfortable with. It's able to change based on what you want to wear for the day, and that's my guide. But it's also very diverse. I can create any kind of patterns or jewelry based on. It's a very blank canvas.
Wow.
Yeah. So once I decide how they want to look, then I use these paints, I paint them over.
Okay.
Now that process is the best part of the process.
That's the fun bit.
Yes. It takes you can easily find yourself sitting down and taking a whole day.
Okay.
Just painting. Because it's very therapeutic, it's relaxing. And at the end of the day, who doesn't want to paint?
Yeah, it's really fun. I believe hata mimi nikiwa preschool, class ya painting ndio nilikuwa napenda. Though I guess we were the very last class kufanya hizo story na arts. Nikiwa pre-uni, that's when we did it. So ilikuwa nafika hiyo class, like we leave every other thing and just sit down and paint. Haupendi maths, haupendi haupendi spelling, lakini painting, it was for everyone. Yes. So the painting bit, alafu?
So I paint them and then I leave them somewhere arranged so that now they are able to dry on their own.
Okay.
So once they are dry, I put them back into the machine. And at that point, that's a very beautiful process that happens.
Okay.
So the paint that goes on them melts and turns into a glass-like coating. So what happens is once they come out, every result is going to be different.
Okay.
As much as they've all been painted in the same style, they are handmade. So that means that the result is going to be slightly different, and that points to the uniqueness of the jewelry.
Wow.
Yeah. So once they're out, then I just make sure I do a final inspection to see whether there's some pieces that didn't really come out exactly the way I wanted. So for the pieces that are perfect, then I put them somewhere and I'm able to put them together with hoops so that now they're ready to wear.
Okay.
For the items that didn't really come out as well, then I'm able to recycle them for future batches.
Okay.
So for now, they're not included in the jewelry I make, but I plan to launch other products that are now going to use the recycled pieces.
Oh, nice, nice.
So in
so
the end,
these are some of the pieces?
Yes.
Okay. So most of them are earrings, naona, and they're really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
So these are some of the final, like very final products that you've done?
Yes.
Okay, nice, nice, nice.
So yeah, that's the whole process.
That's the whole process.
Yeah.
Manze, it's like ni kama safari ya kuanza huku from stirring the clay, then into rolling them and into putting them in the kiln. Umesema unaziweka kwa kiln mara mbili?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the first one is just to make them hard. So if I decide to drop it by mistake, even when the customer buys this piece from the shop and decides to wear it, there are always going to be accidents. For example, I put it at the edge of the table, or one day it drops from my handbag. I need to make it in such a way that it's always going to be durable and it's never going to break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the second time is just to make sure that it's the paint sticks onto it, it's able to protect it. So that means one, it's 100% durable, it's not going to scratch, the paint is never going to fade, and in case you decide to clean it later on with soap or with any other kind of material, it's still going to stay the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So what does it take for one to become a good ceramist? Kwanza umesema ni kuna part na insist sana kwenye ukizi drill inamaanisha lazima ukuwe umekula ugali mzuri. So what does it take for one to really become a good ceramist? Yani kutengeneza products kama hizi zako and maybe other ceramic products. Yes, yes.
Okay. The most important thing will be to be resilient.
Okay.
Yeah. So that means in the first couple of times that you try it out,
okay,
the results are never going to be the same. That is guaranteed. Yeah. At one time it's going to look nice, another time it looks different, yet you did the same thing. That's because it's also a learning process.
Okay.
And also, you know, since when you create ceramics, you're most likely doing it by hand. So that means every single time there's a different way you're going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So being resilient means you're able to just stay in the process, monitor how everything is going, and also adjust what you're doing to see whether you can get a different result.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the second thing is also not to take yourself too seriously. It's never going to be 100% perfect. So at the end of the day, if you realize you're doing something different,
okay,
you'll just let yourself flow with it and then see what happens at the end.
Hakuna makasiriko.
Yeah.
Venye imetokea ndio imetokea.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So who are some of the people who inspire you into the space of creating jewelry from clay and ceramics?
Okay.
Yes.
In terms of creating the pieces, my number one will be the person who I took the course from, Julieta Alvarez. She creates ceramic jewelry as her main point of production, but she also creates sculptures. She's had exhibitions. It's just so amazing what she's done so far, you know. The second person is the CEO of Kazuri.
Kazuri?
Yes.
Okay.
Kazuri
is that in Kenya?
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes. It's a business that makes ceramic jewelry in Karen.
Okay.
Her name is going to come to me in a bit.
It's okay.
But her uniqueness is not only in the kinds of jewelry she creates, but how she involves the community. So her main focus is by creating her business, she's able to give jobs to women around the community, teach them how to create art, especially to women who are struggling in life. And that is something that I also aspire to. because this business isn't just something that's going to be, you know, done in a factory. It's not just going to be something typical. I would like to develop it into a humane brand that empowers people.
Okay.
So those are the two people that inspire me at the moment, Julieta and the CEO of Kazuri.
Nice. So most of the time, ukipata anyone in the space of arts, most of them struggle, especially because there is little or maybe no support. Ukiambia mtu unataka kuimba ama unataka kukua dancer, mtu anakuuliza, the first question inakuanga, how will you be able to earn from that? How can you be able to earn from that? So that is usually the main concern. Anything that is artistic, I know even there is a challenge with this. So would you say that art does pay, or what would you advise someone who wants to try out the ceramics field, yet maybe anaogopa or something like that? Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
Yes.
I will say art does pay.
Okay.
If you're able to make it functional.
Okay.
Maybe something people can use, or if you're able to help people identify with your art.
Okay.
So I see that every day, even in the websites that I build.
Okay.
If someone is able to derive value from the kind of art you're giving them, or if they're able to feel that this art represents me, then that's how you're able to capitalize on that. You see it every day in paintings, in sculptures people buy for their homes, in decor. All that is art. So if you're able to help someone identify with it and feel that they're represented in it, that will be the main point of you know, where to begin.
Okay.
Then the rest is going to flow. You know?
Okay, nice. So are you mentoring anyone in this space? Because unajua, for you had the opportunity kuingia online, ukalearn, ukaget to understand your process yote. Umesema it's a very long process. It's not easy. So do you have anyone that you are planning to mentor, or what's your plan in this space of art? Okay. Yes.
I haven't started mentoring anyone yet because I'm also still in the learning phase of how everything works. But I feel that imparting this knowledge to someone else so that they don't have to keep struggling or go to online courses or have to look for someone would be a really nice way to help them through such a journey. Because I also remember when I was first starting my ceramic journey, before I decided to go on the online courses, I had to go on online other platforms like Meetup and find out whether there are workshops for people to work on ceramics, and I realized the kinds that were available from teachers who are available were not the kinds that I was looking for. So that meant that, especially in a group setting, it will be really hard for me to learn easily, because in a group setting it's hard to know what exactly am I doing that's not working. So in the future, yes, I'm thinking about mentoring. So yeah, that's something for the future I can think about.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So what about your brand? What's your plan? Where do you see your creativity going in like the next 2 years? What's your plan in this space of art?
Okay.
Yes.
The reason why I also decided to create this jewelry was that I feel that jewelry has a permanent place in every lady's life. You'll never ever go to a lady's closet and then miss jewelry there. At least 3 or 4 pieces of earrings and necklaces and things like that. So I would like to turn this possibly in the future. Right now I'm very young, so you know, plans may change. But in the future I'm thinking of possibly turning this into a family business.
Wow.
Yeah. Beautiful. So that means it's also going to be a creative outlet for my children and other people who I'm going to mentor. On aside from learning in the typical 844 system or the typical kinds of education that you encounter, what else can you do? That's also going to give you the skills that you need to grow. So yeah, I'm thinking of this as a long-term plan. Yeah.
Currently in Kenya, there is the introduction of the CBC, where kids are able to learn more about arts and all that. So I believe this one time hata unaweza itwa kama kama mode in a school setup to just teach what ceramics is, because I believe bado there is quite a big gap. Even as much as maybe kids are allowed to be more artistic, but I feel story na modeling and ceramics have not been introduced in the new system of the CBC. So sijui ni Magoha ama ni nani anafaa coach Sanaa na Mitindo. This is really, I feel like it's a very interesting space where people can be able to, even kids can be able to learn that this can be a career and help them maybe make cash. Sindio?
Yes.
And I believe si unaweza jitolea uko mwalimu. Okay. So so what is one unique thing that people don't know about you, or that you're planning to do this year? That one thing that maybe people don't know about you, or you're planning to really focus on even as we start the year 2022.
Okay.
Yes.
Not many people know that I create this jewelry.
Okay.
That's because my main occupation right now has been creating websites for my clients, and that has taken up a lot of my time.
Okay.
So for this year, I want to put more time and focus into creating this jewelry and also building the brand.
Okay.
And spreading the word. So far, it's just my family and my close friends that know, but this year I'm planning to launch it into something big.
Okay. Okay. Are you planning to open like something, a showcase or something like that?
So my store is launching in the next month or so.
Yeah.
It's not yet online. So as you see, this is just going to be a preview of what you're about to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some links for where you can get it.
Okay.
So that soon, if you would like to buy this for a special someone, then you know where to go to. Okay.
Alafu unajua Valentine inakaribia 14.
Yeah.
So we need some red, some stuff za red. So okay, just to close the show, where can we find you, and maybe your platform, your social media, your website? Mtu maybe amecheki hizi earrings, they're so amazing, and maybe other jewelry. So where can we find you on social media?
Okay. So my brand handle on Instagram for the jewelry is called Dasamin Jewelry. Yes. Okay. So you're going to see it on the bottom of the screen. My personal Instagram handle is Stephanie Kabi. You're also going to see it. Okay. The website is already up, but it's just a preview. So you can just see an early preview for what's coming soon. It's called dasamin.com. You're also going to get the link. Yeah. Okay.
So basically those are your handles.
Yes.
Bado yuko Facebook.
I'm going to get it there soon.
Soon, very soon. Adi TikTok. What is people are making money on every platform. So this is really amazing. I am so excited to be having you on this series of ceramics. It's a field which has not been really explored in the space of art, but I believe it's an amazing space. Maybe one time nitakuja kwa shop yako unionyeshe 1 2 3 kutengeneza, you know. And thank you so much for coming, and thank you for inaitwaje kukuja kwa platform yetu and just showcasing what you do. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
So that was our amazing guest, and it was Steph. You can find her on social media, her website, also on IG. You can DM and a reply. So if you want any of the jewelry that you have been able to see all throughout the show, feel free to DM her. Feel free also to text us even at Wema TV if bado haujapata hizo handles zake vizuri. And this was another episode of Sanaa na Mitindo, where we talk about ceramics and how people make things from clay. Don't miss this episode and maybe the next episode of Sanaa na Mitindo to be airing every Wednesday at 8 p.m. That was all for me, Isaac Barak. See you next Wednesday on Sanaa na Mitindo with me, Isaac Barak.